This is Eddie Hearn, Matchroom Boxing. You're watching Sporting Icons. You don't need to be anywhere else.
Right, Eddie Hearn has said that one of his biggest regrets was not signing Tyson Fury when he had the chance. You're damn skippy, he should have done it, but that's all in hindsight. Of course, way back then, Tyson Fury was huge, and a lot of the things that he was talking about just weren't coming true. I'm going to make a comeback, I'll do this, that, and the other. Not many people believed that he was going to do it, and Eddie Hearn was one of them. And of course, Tyson Fury, the rest is history. He did exactly what he said. Now, Eddie Hearn has said this. When it comes to fighters that I could have and maybe should have signed, I mean, you could say Tyson Fury. I had the chance to sign him. I was in Monaco, and I think I could have signed him. But I didn't want to give him the fights that he wanted to take at the time because I thought it was just too much money and the fights weren't good enough. And I probably should have done it, to be honest with you. I looked at him and I thought, you ain't ever coming back anyway. Look at the size of you. But it surprised everyone, and how wrong was I? Fury's definitely up there, and there's a few others, a few American guys that I probably could have had a chance to sign as well. If I could sign 3 fighters right now in the world, it would be Tyson Fury, Ryan Garcia, and Gervonta Davis. Now, there's quite a few people involved with Tyson Fury, MTK, Top Rank, Frank Warren. So when it comes to an Anthony Joshua fight, it's like they've agreed amongst themselves that all 3 of these people must be present when we have a proper chat. So at some point we'll have to talk, and I have no problem on the phone, face to face. I'm not going to let a fight like that, Joshua Fury, slip away because we don't talk. Eddie Hearn's statement. So to end with, and I did actually make a video on this point, which I didn't actually release because I couldn't quite get the words together what it was that I was trying to say. So when he says, I have no problems talking with MTK, Bob Arum and Frank Warren, what he's pretty much getting at is Frank Warren. Frank Warren and Eddie Hearn both say, yeah, of course, we have no problem working with the other one. We may not like each other, but to get fights done, we'll do that. But they never do. All right, so too much talk, not enough action. And hopefully once all this virus situation is sorted out in the world, these guys will actually start working together. What's wrong with having, say, for example, some of the pay-per-view shows doing a collab? Give back to the fans, as Frank Warren would say, rather than as soon as boxing's given the green light, go hell for leather trying to book up every boxing arena that there possibly is and inundate us with next gen after next gen. What's wrong with Frank Warren and Eddie Hearn putting on a couple of pay-per-views together? What's wrong with that? What's wrong with having Daniel Dubois versus Joe Joyce on the undercard of Kubrat Pulev and Anthony Joshua, or Dillian White and Povetkin, or putting one of those fights on the undercard of Joyce and Dubois? Who really cares who the headliner is, right? Give back to the fans. Come on, Frank. Come on, Eddie. Work together. Now, when it goes to him having the opportunity to sign Tyson Fury, I'm pretty sure he does regret it. He didn't see the bigger picture. And to be fair, not a lot of people did. I think a lot of people were almost at the point with Tyson Fury is whatever he says, just think the opposite. That's how it was, and Tyson Fury will pretty much say that as well. He said a lot of stuff that he just never did. Eventually, he did it. But of course, what he's talking about is Tyson Fury. He wanted fighters like Pianeta, like Sefer Seferi, these kind of ones. A Kevin Johnson fight and whatever else it was that was being talked about, and he wanted silly money for it, with the eventual fight being with Anthony Joshua. Eddie Hearn didn't think it was going to happen, thought it was way too much money, thought Tyson Fury would come back, have a couple of fights, a couple of paydays, and then disappear off down the kebab shop again. That's what he thought. But Frank Warren, he saw the bigger picture, and Bob Arum certainly did as well. So sometimes you've got to take the short-term fall for the long-term gain. Right, so Tyson Fury, of course, he did come back. He did take on Sefer Seferi, and he did take on Francisco Pianeta, and he got paid a lot of money for it. So I'm pretty sure Frank Warren at the time lost out on a lot of money. All right, well, maybe, potentially, I don't know, of course. But then he signed up to fight Deontay Wilder. He wasn't supposed to take on Deontay Wilder. Was that fight a big success? It was great for the fans, of course. But was it a financial success? When you look at the pay-per-view numbers, this, that, and the other, not really. It wasn't that great. But at that point, after the draw with Deontay Wilder, where most of us feel that Tyson Fury won, what happened? He signed this 5-fight deal with ESPN for $100 million. And who's the first 2 fights he had? Tom Schwartz and Otto Wallin. Were they commercial successes? No, of course there wasn't. The rematch with Deontay Wilder. Excellent fight. Fury bullied him, battered him, spattered him all over the ring. But the thing is that, again, was it a financial success? Some reports saying that while it did pretty good with the pay-per-view numbers and this, that and the other, and brought it to pretty good revenue, the amount of money that they put into the production of it and selling the fight, apparently they didn't make that much money on it, if at all. So with the rematch with Deontay Wilder, will that one make any kind of money on it? Well, it'll certainly make some money, but will it make more money for ESPN Top Rank to get their 100 million back over the 5 fights? Don't know. I mean, that's a question up in the air. A lot of people don't particularly want to see that third fight, but it is what it is, which is why they're probably going to be looking at Fury versus Joshua as Tyson Fury's 5th and final fight. Of course, providing he comes through Wilder again, which most of us believe that he will. But that fight against Anthony Joshua, not only does Tyson Fury pay back all the money that ESPN and Top Rank put into him, as in this 100 million, but they're going to be getting a hell of a lot more back. Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury is the mega fight that the world will stand still to watch. Okay? They will tune in for this one. They will buy the pay-per-view. They will do everything they can. And I'm pretty sure they'll probably end up upping the pay-per-view price for it. And for that kind of fight, I don't think too many people will complain. Well, depending on the price, of course. But this goes back to my original point. The short-term fall for the long-term gain. Eddie Hearn didn't see the big picture. ESPN, Top Rank, Bob Arum did. Frank Warren did. Eddie Hearn didn't. So, of course, now going forward, once these number 5 and final fights happened with whoever it may be, even him against Dillian White would probably generate a hell of a lot of money, especially here in the UK. But will Tyson Fury continue with Frank Warren after that? Will he continue with Bob Arum after that? It's a question that can only really be answered when the time comes. Because for me, I wouldn't be at all surprised if he ends up signing with Eddie Hearn. Because Eddie Hearn, he can produce the money. He can give out the money with his DAZN deal, with Sky Sports, and the fact he's got a whole load of savings in the bank. Let's be honest, Matchroom Sport, when I had Barry Hearn on the channel a couple of weeks ago, that's what he's saying. He's got, Matchroom have a lot of money in reserve for what he calls rainy days, and then some. So I won't be at all surprised if Tyson Fury does end up signing with Eddie Hearn at some point, because Frank Warren, he's lost Josh Warrington, he's lost Zelfa Barrett, he's lost Billy Joe Saunders and whoever else, okay? And some of these guys, pretty big names. Billy Joe Saunders and Josh Warrington, they were good money generators for him. But he couldn't afford to pay them. Allegedly, he couldn't afford to pay them. So is that going to be the same situation with Tyson Fury? Can he afford to pay them? Or pay Tyson Fury? I don't know. But either way, we'll have to wait and find out. But first things first, he's got to get past Deontay Wilder in the third fight. Here's what it is. Joshua, he's got to get past Kubrat Pulev. Dillian White's got to get past Alexander Povetkin. And then we'll see Tyson Fury's final fight in a big fight. Because it can only be Dillian White, as he's mandatory, and the fight will be called at that point, or Anthony Joshua. These are the only two options that he has. And if it's Dillian White, it could well be on Sky Sports. It could well be in the UK, because it's a mandatory situation. If they can't agree terms, then he will have to go to purse bid. Will Eddie Hearn make sure that he does everything that he can to promote Tyson Fury against Dillian White? You bet your backside he would. So again, don't be surprised if he ends up having his 5th fight in the UK against Dillian White. That would be a great fight. They could well put it on at Old Trafford, do all that kind of stuff. And that's probably what I fully expect them to do. For me, do I want to see Tyson Fury against Dillian White or Tyson Fury against Anthony Joshua outside the country? Not really, but it's not my call to make, is it? But no matter where it is, of course I'm going to watch it, wouldn't you? Anyway, Eddie Hearn, that's one of his biggest regrets, is not signing Tyson Fury. Well, that's no great surprise, is it? No great surprise. He's not the master genius that everyone thinks that he is. From time to time, he will make some business errors. But again, that's all down to human nature, isn't it? And when it comes to Tyson Fury, you never know what you're getting. You don't. It's like the parcel surprise. You don't know what it is that you're opening up, and when the layer finally comes true. Anyway, we'll have to wait and see what happens in the future. But right now, Eddie Hearn, he does regret not signing Tyson Fury. I don't blame him. Tyson Fury have done everyone proud, has he not? Drop your thoughts below, click thumbs up, subscribe. Catch you all on the next video.